Jay Edwards, oh my gosh, the man, the myth, the legend right here in our living room. How did we get so lucky?
Oh yeah, I was going to say the same thing about you, Jules. That's great. Great to be back to see you again. So
Absolutely.
we
So
go
a
through these
lot.
spurts. We go through these spurts. So we see each other a lot, and then I don't hear from you for a long time. So it's good
I
to
know we
see you.
both get busy making music.
Yeah, yeah, that's it right there.
So for the
So
past several months, we've all kind of had to put our live music performances on hold. Tell me how you've handled this setback.
well, I had a nervous breakdown. I went nuts. I was out. No, I'm lying. Um, man, you know, this is. I haven't had a chance to really tell anybody or talk to anybody about this, but you and I know this is what I do. I mean, I go out and I play shows and little honky tonks and hoot nannies all over the country, and I'm here in Nashville one night, and then I'm in somewhere in West Virginia or Hillsboro, Ohio, in the next night, and trying to get back on Sundays to do the Nashville Uncovered show, and people are telling me, hey, you got to do these little markets. Let's stay in Mississippi for a while. Well, I don't know all those people in Mississippi, so I go and do one, two shows, and then I'm in Texas. And so this not being able to travel and not be able to go out there it's been a weird, really weird situation. Um, I decided right off the bat, well, I'm going to finish this album and we're going to go nuts, and I'm going to release all this music, and so I can say, hey, while I was in quarantine, I was putting all this music out. Oh man, if it wasn't one thing, it was another. And so we've just been slowly plodding along, and I've had people calling me today asking me, hey, are we on for July or August? I was like, well, I hope so. I mean, so I've just tried to make new music and catch up on my demos and things like that. Um, the the new record's in the process of coming out, so we're we're getting hard copies in, and it's made it to Spotify. But so we're just that's the little stuff that we're doing. I got one good review on it here last night, so it's just great. Everything's going good.
Well, I know more incredible reviews are coming, especially after we continue to talk this evening. So, one of the things that you focus on really 24/7 is making music. You like
Right.
to deliver that music face to face to your audience, but you spend a lot of time away from your family. They make a great sacrifice, as do you, so that you can pursue your dreams. How has it been different now that you're quarantined to the house? Are you guys like, whoa, this is a little too much family time?
Um, well, uh, I guess being older, I live here in Nashville. My wife and I still have a house back in South Carolina, and so I think the first week or so into it, she took off and went back to South Carolina, and so it was not an overload of family time. It was an overload of me time. It was just one minute I was going nuts, and I was like, man, I got to go do something or get out of this house, cabin fever. And the next minute it was like, I could do this. I could live here and never talk to anybody again. I would just sit here and yeah, I'll be by myself. And
Well, then we better get
um,
you out of the house pretty quick.
yeah, yeah. But Diana made it back last week, and so we're catching up and hanging out, and of course she works from home too, so she's like, can you go get busy doing something? So leave me alone. I got to work.
Can you
It's
keep it down in there?
what's that?
I said,
Yeah.
she's asking you, can you keep it down in there? I'm trying
Well,
to work.
this place I'm living now is our house now is so wonderful because it's downstairs. I have this basement, and one of these days I'll show you. It's the studio is in here, and everything is set up, and you have to kind of go up to complete different level to get up there where she's at. So she
Well,
can
that is
hear me,
perfect.
but it's not enough to not to distract her or anything. So this is great.
I love it. I love it. Behind the scenes with Jay Edwards. That's exactly what we were trying to accomplish tonight. We get to experience Jay in your home environment. So what do you say we play a little music? Which song do you think we should play first? This is one of our performances that we did at Marquee Backstage. This was actually the premiere episode of our brand new show. Couldn't have thought of anybody better to kick it off with. Which one do you think we should play first?
Let's go with Ramblin' Fever. It's old school country song. I mean, it's my song and new song, but kind of reminiscent of Merle Haggard's song Ramblin' Fever. But it's on the album. We haven't even done anything, say, with the album as far as like trying to pick out the first single or the first release. None of that. It was just, hey, here's 16 songs. Boom. What do you want to do with them? I don't know that we will do anything. I've sent out to just one radio station right today, and it was the whole package, and there was no instructions. You know, hey, start with this one or not. But but I think Ramblin' Fever is going to be one of those big songs off of this album. So.
Fantastic. So let's share that with them now. You guys get ready for a little Ramblin' Fever.
Softly I whisper, baby, I'm coming home. She says, I won't wait up. I can't stand to miss her, or when she's all alone. It still won't stop the wheels of this truck. And I've got rambling fever. I'm still trying to deceive her, 'cause God knows she's had enough. But whenever I hold her, I'm lying over and over. 'Cause I got rambling fever in my blood. I've counted the white lines from the bar to her bed, knowing I'll always want just one more. I got the reasons for leaving written down in my head. Every time that I walk through her door, and I got rambling fever. I'm still trying to deceive her, 'cause God knows she's had enough. I'm like an old roller coaster. I'm lying over and over. I got rambling fever in my blood. I got rambling fever. I'm still trying to deceive her, 'cause God knows she's had enough. But whenever I hold her, I'm lying over and over. I got rambling fever in my blood. Oh, I got rambling fever, a disease that eats her my soul. Ooh, I got rambling fever, Lord knows. Just love that old road. She knows that I love that old road. Lord knows I just love that old road. I got rambling fever. I got rambling fever. I got rambling
Jay, are there any special stories that went into writing Ramblin' Fever?
Um,
Did you
no.
have a little Ramblin' Fever?
Well, I always have. You know, Jules, and I think you and I have talked about this too, is that I don't write a lot of songs about me. If I did, if these songs are about me, I'd be in trouble all the time. It's just a lot of old school country themes and going back to some of those old country songs, lying here with Linda on my mind, and T.G. Shepherd and T.
Yeah.
Rambrell and some of those guys. Man, they had that soulful country voice that just I don't know, it made the women cry and the men want to fight or do something. I don't know. So I just that's what I miss. I came along a little late, and so I really, every time I write a song, it's really maybe just reminiscent of something I've seen or something that I've noticed somewhere. But they're not all about me. I'd probably be in trouble if it was all about me. But it's not. So.
Well, I seem to recall you may have had a little Ramblin' Fever because you grew up singing gospel music, right?
I
And then you
did.
had to sneak in your room to listen to some different genres of music.
Yeah, that was I spent a lot of nights with headphones on or with my hand on the knob, the volume knob, so in case anybody came upstairs to my room, I could flip it over to something else or hit the power button or something. I didn't want to get in trouble. So yeah, it was pretty strict. My dad and mom were pretty strict and on my what I listened to, but I guess there's no way to really restrict that. If you're hungry for music, if you love music, you're gonna reach out and find good in just about anything. So I got a lot of things that I listen to. People that kind of say, and even I write stuff that people say, what is that? That's not Jay Edwards. Well, yeah, that was one time in my life. I did that.
The many faces of Jay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
what I love about you is that you bring power to the people. You really do. You're very observant. You're a great listener, and you pay attention to what people feel and what they react to. And that I can hear in a lot of your music. You are telling the story of the people you observe.
Right. Well, again, my dad was a minister, and so I've been writing. I wrote my first song when I was 9 years old, and of course they let me play it. He let me play it in church, and so when I was 12, I was sitting at the piano playing stuff and writing stuff and things that I thought were scriptural. So that's got to be good. Let's do this, and he took time out around when I was 11 or 12 years old to tell me, he said, hey, the singing and stuff's good, but if you can't relate to people or people can't relate to what you're singing, you're just making noise, And so I was like, oh, okay. So you have to, I think that's something that started there as you started looking out there and seeing and recognizing, some folks in the old church days called it discernment. You discern a little bit. But I think it's really just reading people. Some of it's reading people. And it doesn't take a whole lot to know if somebody's hurting, if somebody's tired, if somebody's worn out, if somebody is angry. And, just it's so easy to get that picture in your head and maybe write a song about what you thought they might be feeling. And if you miss it, I guarantee you the guy sitting next to him probably got it. It's just there's so many people out there, and I'm rambling, but that's just the thing. I mean, and I think we're missing that today in music, in all of our music. We're missing that as far as the music that directly affects people. I mean, we got plenty of music out there that people are jumping and shaking their booties to, but do we have music that that makes the grown man cry, and people say, hey, that's exactly what I was trying to say. I just didn't know how to say it. And I think we got to get back to that in all of our forms of music. And so we can't just be expressing our headbanging and our angst. We got to be able to have some music out there that says what the heart's saying, and what just normal everyday average people want to say.
Couldn't agree more. We've got to do more than entertain. We have to connect.
Right.
And I have thankfully known you for many years. And in order to do our very first Marquee Backstage with you, I was honored, but I was also excited to introduce all of our staff to you. And even today, we were watching some of the material from that show, and we're excited to be able to air that again this weekend for people to see that may not have ever heard of Jay Edwards. But
Right.
even watching the show back today in our office, I teared up. And I said, I'm not sure why every time I hear that man sing, it brings me to tears, because I feel your music. I connect to your music, and I know that others do the same. And once we start releasing some of these promos for this weekend show, I think people will also see and feel what I feel.
Right.
What did you think a little bit about the production of that show? You were our guinea pig. You were our premiere episode. What did you think about that? And we were in a really cool vintage analog and digital recording studio complex, kind of hidden in the middle of nowhere.
Right. I love it. I thought it was amazing. The main thing to me, that it was so big, and there were so many different things that you could do. You go to a studio nowadays, and people can sometimes, they can even figure out where you were. Oh, you were at Black River, or you were over here at Omni. And well, how do you know? Oh, I know their signal, and it's mostly engineers, and they can only hear what dogs can hear, and so they're hearing. but I mean, there was just this big warehouse of, well, if you want a sound that's open and wide and sounds like it's bouncing off of rafters, just go stand over there. Oh yeah, and it was there. And if you want something more confined, and then there's so much vintage stuff in there, old vintage Rhodes and drum sets and stuff. That's cool too. But I think my main thing was, and what I've always wanted, was just a warehouse where somebody says, well, no, I want this. And, okay, let's just go down the hall. Here it is. And, no, I want an old analog board. Okay, it's right down here. Let's go. Okay. So it was just right there. Everything you needed was right there in this whole big, huge complex. And man, it was really awesome. I could have stayed there for a day or two, just walking around and checking out all the stuff, and then just stopping every so often and holler out, hey, yeah, that sounds good over here. Somebody stick a mic over here. This is cool.
I think that's exactly what we were going for. And you know what? You have an open invitation to spend as much time as you want with us at Thunder Sound. We would love to have you back.
Oh, I love it. I guarantee you, we'll do some stuff sometime soon. We definitely will. So when we get out of this quarantine, I'm gonna come up and hang out. So
please do. Let's make some more music. Right now, I think we need to give our audience another sample of what we came up with that day at Marquee Backstage. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Jay, let's give the people another sneak peek of what they're going to get to see this weekend on Marquee Backstage. What song do you want to play now?
Let's stick in that same vein, and this is off the new record too. I Don't Want to Know.
I want to know it all, but right now you guys give it up. This is Jay Edwards. I Don't Want to Know.
If he tells you that he's leaving, at some place he has to go. If you think it's her he's meeting, but he says it ain't so. If he tells you he ain't cheating, he just likes to drink alone. If he tells you that he's leaving, Darling, I don't wanna know if he tells you that he's leaving. Friends are blowing up his phone. If you just don't believe him, he knows that you won't. If you get that lonely feeling, you just need someone close. If he tells you that he's leaving, I don't wanna know. 'Cause I'd come running back to hold you like all the other times he's gone. So if he tells you that he's leaving, I don't wanna know. If he tells you that he's leaving for a drive to find his soul, it's gonna be a while before you see him. He don't know when he's coming home. If he says you're not the reason, he's gotta face his problems on his own. If he tells you that he's leaving, this time I don't want to know. 'Cause I'd come running back to hold you like all the other times he's gone. So if he tells you that he's leaving, I don't wanna know. When he tells you that he's leaving, there's something else before he goes. And then he tells you he's been seeing someone else you might have known. If then you figure out you need me, and you should have known that long ago. When he tells you that he's leaving, this time I don't want to know. If he tells you that he's leaving, darling, I don't want to know.
Jay Edwards, oh my gosh, 16 tracks deep on a new record. I cannot wait to hear the new songs that I have not yet heard. We're going to premiere several of them on Marquee Backstage this weekend. It's also on our Marquee Backstage YouTube channel. So if you guys want to check that out, feel free to do so now. But Jay, you've been writing a lot since we saw you last year.
Yeah, that's another thing, comes and goes in spurts, and you know, I'm still my own publisher, so it's and I'm not whining. I'm just telling the truth. It gets a little tough sometimes when you sit down to write a song, and then you look over and there's this whole list of, you know, 200 and something songs or more now that they have no home. They're just floating out there, and it's songs songs I've written, and you're like, oh man, so why add to the pile? Why we need to let's get something done with those first. But then you get on on a binge, and it's just like, well, who cares? Somebody will enjoy it. Somebody will like it. And you're right. Yeah, Jill. Hey, Jill's all right.
I love it.
We'll hang out and holler about it. So
I'll buy them all. No.
yeah. So and I think I could run down a rabbit hole here, but that's kind of the reason why we have so much music out there right now. Is somebody said, I wrote a song, and they're happy if Grandma likes it. Grandma likes it. Okay, let's go write another one. And so, yeah, it's probably not going anywhere past Grandma, but okay. Yeah, we've written some really cool stuff. And one thing that we've done, I keep saying we. One thing that I've done in this quarantine was I've gone back and picked up songs that we wrote 2 or 3 years ago, and I just wasn't comfortable with them. With co-writers Brian Ray and my daughter Cricket Davis and I wrote a song. I think it was our first one to write with her, one of her first co-writes to come in and write, and we wrote a song called "Running on Fumes." And I don't know the hook. It was halfway there, but none of us ever sang it. Cricket didn't sing it. Brian didn't sing it. And it's just been sitting there for, I think, 3 years. And I got it out during this quarantine, and I said, I'm going to make that thing work. I'm going to just fix it. And just a few days ago, I sent it out and said, hey guys, here's my thoughts. What do you think? And they were like, oh yeah, that's great. We didn't think of it like that. So, okay. So now we got new songs, but it's a lot of stuff that I'm taking from the creative pile over on this side and running them through the process to put them over on the finished pile, but still don't know what to do with. So that's saying, hey, if there's any publishers out there that's needing any new music, just give me a holler. I got stuff for movies and TV and new artists and everything. So
That's what we're here for. We're here to make sure that we scream from the rooftops that Jay Edwards is here and he's got something for everybody.
Well, thank you. I thank you so much. You've always been a great friend. You guys have been a great supporter, and it's awesome, man. Just super, super awesome. We're doing our best to get back to Bowling Green too, and make that one of our second homes. Every time you turn around, Jay Edwards is playing somewhere over there too. So
I'd love that. And I came to Bootleggers one time and got on stage with you. You allowed me to do a little Facebook Live right there on Broadway in Nashville, and no one saw it coming.
Yeah, you did, and I'm going to tell you something. You and I, neither one of us had any idea that they were blocking off the street, and there was this huge concert going. I think Florida Georgia Line was playing right outside the door, but you got to see what it was all about. The thing is, you come to Nashville, and Florida Georgia Line can be playing on First Street, and at Bootleggers we're packed out playing, old school country music, and the place is just blowing up. And they're like, yeah, we're not worried about that. Let's worry about this. And so
it was absolute standing room only, like every Jay Edwards show should be and always is, in my experience. You want to play a little of that new music for us, Jay?
Yeah, let's do it. Grab my guitar.
I feel like I have a front row seat, and I get to share it with all of our friends.
Yeah. Well, this is my little spot. When I do my Facebook Live and Instagram Live stuff, I'm get right here in the studio, and I've been moving around. People have been noticing that you're shifting just a little bit. You're not directly in front of the drums like you were last week. So no, now I'm in front of the keyboard, or now I'm in front of the writing room back over here. So, yeah, this is a new song that I wrote with Greg Pratt, and it's called the long title is "If You Were Mine, You'd Know It By Now." And but
I guess that counts me out.
Well, it's I think it's a great song. Greg is a great writer, and just coming together and doing that. We got another couple of songs. One called Hound Dog that's a little fun to do. But this song, it's not very old, but it had to go on the record. It's just one of those that it's just got to go on the record.
I'm so excited.
So, all right, I'll play it for you.
Here we go.
You think that he loves you, but you hold down there's more. You're tired of waiting, just make sure. He's steady and stable. He stopped turning it on. Outside you seem happy, inside you're alone. If you were on where you wanted to be, you'd get that wild feeling, feel the fire in your dress. He'd whisper your name and you'd lose your breath. It'd feel like you were touching from way across the room. You'd have something you'd only dreamed about. If you were mine, you would know you're down now. You'd wake up to roses for no reason at all. Be covered in my kisses from daylight to dawn. We'd be tearing up the carpet, backed up against the wall, knocking down old pictures lead to the hall. You know right where you wanted to be. You'd always have that wild feeling, feel the fire in your dress. I'd whisper of your name and you'd lose your breath. You'd feel like we were touching from across the crowded room, and you never have to figure it out. Girl, if you were mine, you would know it by now. So do you get that wild feeling, feel the fire in your dress? When I whisper your name, you lose your breath. Can you feel me touching you way across the room? Is that something you just can't live without? Girl, if you were mine, you would know it by now. Oh, if you were mine, you would know it by now.
The essential Jay Edwards. Oh my gosh, doesn't get any better.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We've got so much more Jay Edwards to discover. I hope everybody tunes in this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We air on NBC, CBS, ABC, MeTV, CW, all up and down the East Coast and anywhere in between. Jay, I always have a fantastic time when I'm with you. Can't wait to share you with the rest of the world. Anything else you want to add before we say goodbye?
I just check us out and come see us on websites and Facebook and the social media, And we're trying to get these campaigns started. Tell somebody about Jay Edwards, all the fans out there and the people that are just finding us. We're getting some cool things happening, man. And so go to www.jedwardsmusic.net, and it's just the letter J, edwardsmusic.net, and there's all kinds of buttons and stuff to push from there and get to all these other places.
Where can we find you on social media?
What's that?
Where can we find you on social media?
If you do a search on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, that's and I'm still on Twitter too. I like Twitter. I like Twitter because it's kind of one of those things that you really, there ain't a whole lot of ranting on there. It's just kind of say what you're gonna say and then move on and let's go. And so that's kind of like what I like. But of those, if you do a search on there to J Edwards Music, and I think Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that, it's J Edwards _music. But if you type in J Edwards Music, you should be able to find it. Just make it that it's just the J, though, not JAY or anything. And I'm so we still got the Nashville Uncovered thing going every Sunday from home, since Bootleggers has not been back in the swing, and so I conduct my Sunday show from right here at the house, and there's a lot of stuff. We got a new little video out that is available, an acoustic video at a concert I did in a barber shop in Boston, Massachusetts. One of the greatest things we've done. So just go check some of that stuff out.
And share it.
Send me a comment, a message, or something. It don't get lost through management. It comes right straight to me. I get to tell you. So if I'm mean or anything, hey, it's me.
Take it up with manager Jay Edwards.
Yeah, that's the manager side.
Well, we'll never get enough. We thank you so much for giving up some of your evening with us tonight. We can't wait to reminisce and share Marquee Backstage with the world. We love you, Jay. We'll see you soon.
Love you, Jules. Talk to you later.
Babe. Bye.